Good morning and welcome to Georgia Tech. Welcome to McCamish Pavilion. This is Commencement at Georgia Tech, and right now this is what we like to call Commencement Live, and for the next hour or so we're going to bring you behind the action, introduce you to some of the graduates who are going to be walking across the stage a little bit later. It's an exciting day for us. We're here in Zelnak, which is a gym on the backside of McCamish Pavilion. This is where normally our basketball team is training and practicing, but today it becomes sort of the holding area as we organize the graduates who are about to walk through in McCamish and receive their degrees. Right here in this gym, you're going to see all of our College of Engineering. We've got the College of Design and the College of Sciences graduates that are in this morning's ceremony. We've got another gymnasium, what we call Freshman Gym, where we have all our computer science and computational media graduates. So everybody's getting lined up, organized for the march into McCamish, which will happen in about an hour or so. They're walking in this way, and as you can see, there's a lot of excitement over here. It feels a little nervous, a little tense, because it's, the big moment is finally here for these undergraduates receiving their degrees today. So we've got a lot to show you over the next hour or so, a lot of people to introduce you to. The first person I want to introduce you to is Bryce Zimmerman, part of our communications team here at Georgia Tech. Bryce, tell us a little bit about what we're going to see over the next 60 minutes.
Well, the great thing about Georgia Tech is that the students really run the gamut from global to local to Atlanta to rural regions of Georgia. And we're going to show you students with fantastic stories. We have one graduate who's 18 years old. She's a circus performer. She's already got her Georgia Tech degree for her undergraduate studies. And then we'll also show you a pilot who has over 120 hours in the air. He was homeschooled and has now found his way to Georgia Tech. He's getting his degree today as well. And just, you know, a cheerleader rocket scientist. No big deal, just some of the great things that are happening here at Georgia Tech. But as another part of our crew, we also have Evan Atkinson, who's down in McCamish, who's gonna be telling you some stories. So let's send it on down to Evan over at McCamish's floor.
All right, thank you, Bryce. As you can see, I'm live here in McCamish Pavilion. Really looking forward to this morning's Bachelor ceremony. As you can see, families and friends are starting to pile in behind me. But what I'm going to be doing today is showing you guys a little different aspects of today's ceremony. I'll talk a little bit about the regalia, the class rings, and a little bit more. But right now, I think I'm interested in hearing more about the graduates. So let's send it back to you guys in Zelnak and hear from them.
All right, thank you, Evan. So one of the things you're going to notice as we start marching into McCamish is our undergraduates put a lot of work into their mortar boards. We actually ran into you yesterday at the President's graduation celebration, and I saw your mortar board. I'm going to get you to turn around a little bit so we can take a look at it. Now tell me about the work you put into this.
Originally, I didn't know people decorated their caps, but my friends convinced me. And basically, I just wanted to give a tribute to everybody who helped me and put things that remind me of the journey of becoming me at this point.
Yeah. So it looks like you chose a Bible verse that's particularly special to you. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it says with God, well, in part, with God, all things are possible. And this place is very stressful, and I really don't think that I would have been able to do it if I hadn't spent half of my time in volunteer work teaching people the Bible, praying a lot, keeping my balance.
You have family and friends waiting for you over in McCamish. Anybody you want to say hello to?
Mom and Dad, you carried me through. I know just the morning was stressful, but thank you for getting me here, and thank you everyone else for coming out today.
And this young lady has to head over into that other gym to line up with her classmates, so we're going to send you over that way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to have you take yours off because it's going to be easier, I think. This is pretty awesome, and it actually moves, doesn't it?
So we got the record can move, and the arm can move, and we can move between freshman, sophomore, junior, but got to keep it at senior.
Yeah, we're in senior mode today.
Getting out, so yeah.
And what's the inspiration for the record player?
Well, I mean, I've been into records for, I don't know, almost 10 years now, and been a part of the radio station WREK, and I love playing the music, and I think music has been a huge part of my life, especially here. It's helped me throughout many study hours and work sessions, so I thought this was really fitting to send myself off. So
I think so too. So when you see the record player crossing the stage, let's give David a big cheer.
Thank you.
All right, congrats.
Thank you so much.
And another little interesting thing, I'm gonna have Parmees step in. You know, details are very important to Georgia Tech students, and we caught a picture of a very important detail for your ensemble today. Tell me about these earrings.
So I bought these Georgia Tech earrings when I graduated high school because I wanted to wear them for that graduation, and then I thought, well, I'm graduating Georgia Tech now, so I might as well wear them now too.
I'm gonna come over on this side and let Leland get a nice tight shot of that Buzz there. Buzz, best mascot in the country, you have to say.
Absolutely, yeah. We're so lucky to have a mascot. We have 2 mascots, so we're pretty lucky to have Buzz, who's great.
Parmees, what are you earning your degree in today?
Material science and engineering.
Okay, yeah. How was your journey at Georgia Tech?
I came in as BME, didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then found the MSc family, and it was honestly the best decision I could have made.
So what's next for you?
I will be moving up to Boston to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to say hello to this morning?
Yeah. Mom, Dad, and Grandma, hi, I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything.
All right, she's got to go get in line. It's an exciting morning here at Georgia Tech. We're going to keep on introducing you to some of the folks you'll see crossing the stage later. Bryce, you've got someone we've worked pretty closely with.
That's right. So I'm here with Yash Tulsiani, and say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so Yash has been a man that has been behind the scenes a lot. So both Steven and I, we represent Georgia Tech's social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And Yash, tell us what you've done to help us out over the last couple of years.
So I enjoy taking photos and videos. So I work with Georgia Tech, with Bryce and Steven on the social media team. And I've been doing that since like around the end of freshman year, like start of sophomore year.
And so, Yash, what are some of the favorite events that you've been able to cover? I mean, we basically send him to go do everything here on campus. So if you can think back, what are some of the ones where you really enjoy getting the pictures? Don't worry, it's live TV. Just walk right on by. So what are some of those events that you really enjoyed?
I definitely enjoyed the football games a lot, and like some of the smaller events that like SCP does, like GT Night at the Aquarium. Like all of the students are like over there, and like it's a lot of fun.
So we asked you to do all these things extracurricular. You're wearing the white cords, which means you're graduating with honors. What's your degree in? Where are you going to be going?
I'm graduating in computer science, and I'm going to be moving to San Francisco to work for Pivotal.
I got to step in here. What's with the pancakes in the bag?
Oh,
we got to show this.
I don't know how long commencement is exactly, but I feel like I'm going to be hungry halfway through. So these are chocolate chip pancakes that are frozen.
I'm going to get one of those later.
That is a grade A commencement hack right here. That's a computer scientist mind at work. All right, Yash, well, good luck today, and we can't wait to see you graduate.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we're also going to swing over here and talk to Kayla Duarte. And Kayla, you've got a pretty interesting story. We're going to start off with where you're from and how many of your family members have gone to Georgia Tech.
All right, well, I'm from Cleveland, Georgia, and both of my brothers who are here, hey Brandon, hey Chad, they were GT grads.
And so they started, your oldest brother started in 2010. There's been a few, graduated in 2010. So there's been just a couple gaps, but mainly there's been a Duarte at Georgia Tech for the better part of a decade.
Yep, that is right.
Okay, so what have you been working on here at Tech? We're going to roll some footage that shows some of the things you've been working on, but your Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, tell me about that degree, why you got into it, and some of the things that you've been doing.
Yeah, so I've always had a love for space and planets in particular. So for the last 3 years, I've been working on an active NASA mission, looking at a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt, and basically just doing a lot of planetary geology, that kind of thing. Just
some regular, everyday planetary geology, no big deal. But you also got involved with NASA. How did that end up happening?
My freshman year, I just reached out to a professor who was doing a really cool project on a NASA mission, and she just took me on. So I've been there ever since.
So you had the family connection to Georgia Tech, but growing up, being from Cleveland, Georgia, what's it like to come down to the city of Atlanta for your college experience?
Culture shock, definitely for sure. It's been really great. I've loved it, and I'm just really glad that I got to move to a city and get out of rural North Georgia.
All right, what's next for Kayla Duarte?
Next, I'm starting a business this summer. It's called Terrestrial Organics, and we're moving to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow, so you'll be back in the, not quite the Blue Ridge area, but getting back into a nice little spot between country and city.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good mix of city life, but then you can also drive 2 hours to the beach or to the mountains, so.
All All right, well, congratulations and good luck today.
Thank you.
Also wearing the cords for graduating with honors. You'll see a lot of that today, and we're going to go over some of the regalia a little bit later on. But right now, there's been one of the most newsworthy sources for students on the campus here at Georgia Tech over years and years and years, and that is the student newspaper, The Technique. Let's take a look at a lot of graduates who are walking today that are members of The Technique.
The South's liveliest college newspaper. So we're a pretty tight-knit community. I guess it depends. The culture always changes depending on the staff that's here, but we're generally pretty lively.
Every year we do a To Hell with Georgia edition right before we play UGA in football, and that's always pretty fun. We have just a whole bunch of kind of satirical articles about UGA, and it's been going on for a long time, so that's probably one of our favorite traditions here. It's just a whole lot of fun.
Tech is a very technical-based school, and I came in as ME, so I wanted to have that kind of creative outlet where I could hone my writing skills and continue with that over the course of my college career.
I came to a Technique meeting the second week of my freshman year, looking for something to do, looking to get some writing in, because I was a public policy major coming in, but I was really worried about not getting a ton of writing experience and, you know, sort of losing myself in the calculus and CS and everything else that I knew I was going to have to do.
So I really just wanted to find a creative outlet on campus, just because I came in as a computer science major, and I wanted to be able to kind of do something that was away from the whole math and science thing.
We are a student publication, pretty entirely independent at a STEM school. We have a lot of emphasis on teaching each other and teaching the younger classes how to do the work that we're doing. And so a lot of it, and really all of it, is based just on our ability to communicate with each other and form really good relationships so that the paper sustains itself, because we don't have a journalism program to fall back on here.
We all kind of together more, since we kind of have to coach ourselves through it without having that existing journalism infrastructure.
You know, this very ragtag group of mostly STEM majors are able to hold their own and compete and bring home awards and be the best in the state. And I think that's a credit to how intelligent and naturally curious we all are as people and as, you know, budding scientists, but also the fact that we really, really mean it when we want to do good work.
All right, so I'm here with John. John, you spent a good chunk of your time here at Georgia Tech working with the Technique, correct?
I did, yes sir, 5 years.
So tell me some of the different roles you held working with the newspaper here.
So I've been the editor of the sports section, the life section, and the opinion section throughout 5 years.
Sports, I gotta ask you, what was your favorite sports memory during your time here at Georgia Tech?
Probably when we beat Florida State. That was pretty big. Everybody was kind of excited about that. I think everybody will give you that answer, so.
Did you rush the field?
I did not, no.
Yeah, because he was busy covering what was happening, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what you're wearing, because this is something new for the members of Technique.
Yeah, so our editor-in-chief, Samira Bondru, worked pretty hard to get graduating members of the staff these stoles just to kind of show off that we worked with the Technique, and it was how big a part it was to our tech experience.
And you'll see that today. A lot of folks with either organizations, maybe they're student athletes, they'll be wearing a stole that represents some of what they've spent their time here doing. Computational media, that was your major. Tell me a little bit about that as a program and what your focus was.
So it's a pretty unique blend of computer science and communications. Not too many colleges around the country have it. It's nice because you get that tech background that Georgia Tech offers with their super good computer science program, but you also get to explore more of the creative side of sciences. A lot of people go into UX design, UI design. I focus more on like a narrative journalism side of it, but it really gives you a lot of options to explore based on what you want to do.
You know this guy here, I'm sure.
I do, yes, yes.
All right, Buzz, it wouldn't be a Georgia Tech live stream if Buzz wasn't in it somewhere, so there we go. All right, John, congratulations,
awesome.
Man.
Appreciate it.
All right, so speaking of computational media, we've got another computational media student here, Stephanie. Stephanie, what was the program like for you? We heard it's a sort of a blend of communications and computer science. You said that sort of impacted your decision to come here to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so the thing about computational media for me that made it really special was that Georgia Tech is the only school that really offers this major, and it's something that's really important, especially in the undergraduate field. Like, for example, I'm going to be going to grad school here for HCI in the fall, but I would never have gotten the introduction to that field if I hadn't been a computational media major. So it really impacted the way that I perceived computer science and liberal arts in general.
So Stephanie spent her time doing something else here outside of the classroom, which was surprising to find out that Georgia Tech has the largest collegiate fencing club in the Southeast tell me about fencing. How did you get involved in that?
Well, honestly, I was one of those people at Facet that was running around and I wanted to do everything. So I signed up to almost everything that I saw that I thought was even mildly interesting. And I thought, oh, fencing, that's weird and exciting. I'll try that. And I went, and all the people there, I just fell in love with the community, and the sport was amazing. And it was a great opportunity for me to try something entirely new, because like, I have been playing piano since I was 5 and tennis since I was 10, and I was like, let's try something totally different, and it was exactly what I needed and the community I needed to like really come into my own in college.
It's really cool to see them. They practice in the CRC, and it looked like you guys were always having a good time at practice. And how many folks are involved in fencing here?
So every semester we have over 100 due-paying members. Generally, our active club is about 50 so people or a little bit more. It depends on the semester, really, and like when exams are happening. But we all, like honestly, everyone in the fencing club, generally I'd say we love it.
And you guys travel to compete, and you're competing with not necessarily people who are in college, other people who are looking to compete in fencing competitively, tournaments, across the country.
Yep. So we do a number of tournaments every year. Sometimes they're local, like we're really good friends with University of Tennessee and University of Florida and University of Georgia, amazingly. But we also go to places like, we went to Mississippi and I think Boston this past year. And those are like bigger like team tournaments where we have groups compete in like team bouts where it's like best 5 out of 9 out of the 3 that showed up to compete for each team. But it's a great team building experience, and we get to meet a lot of cool people from around this side of the country.
So Stephanie, computational media, that means she's in the other gym, so she's got to go line up over there. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, so lots of cool opportunities for our students here at Georgia Tech, and one of the best things about Tech is that we're located right here in the heart of Atlanta. World-class events come here. That includes the Super Bowl. And when the Super Bowl was looking for a high-tech addition to the halftime show, they came calling to Georgia Tech. Take a closer look.
All right, so we're back here in McCamish Pavilion, and as you can probably see, I'm wearing the ceremony regalia. Now, what's interesting is that there's a few similarities and differences between the regalia for our graduates, between our bachelor's, master's, and PhD. So this morning's bachelor's graduates will be wearing the black traditional regalia with the Georgia Tech seal, and you'll see that their mortarboards have white and gold tassels. Now, our master's graduates yesterday have a little bit of extra material in their sleeves that kind of come to a point, and the PhD have a little more decorations on the sleeve. But what's really cool about all of the regalia is that they're actually made of 100% plastic bottles sourced from landfills. So each cap and gown has about 23 to 27 plastic bottles in each. One last thing you guys should know is that if you see graduates walking around with white or gold cords around their necks, that means they've earned themselves honors, high honors, or the highest honors. So if you see them, make sure you congratulate them. That's it for the regalia, so back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Evan. Speaking of those cords, I'm here with Khan Goksol. I practiced it right before you sent it up to me, Evan. I still got it wrong, but Khan, yeah, do you have a lot of people mess up your name?
Yeah, all the time. I'm from a different country.
Okay, so first, yeah, tell us which country you're from and how you ended up coming to Georgia Tech.
I'm from Turkey, Istanbul, and Georgia Tech was one of my primary goals because of the maker culture and the innovative structure.
So we actually know Khan very well because during his first year here at Georgia Tech, you kind of chronicled your journey. And we said, when he graduates, we're going to come catch up with him. So how's it going, Khan?
It's fine. It's been really interesting 4 years, like lots of adventures. I interned at multiple companies, had lots of entrepreneurial activities. I taught kids how to make drones, how to build drones. Now I'm making drones for like more stuff, bigger stuff.
Yeah, so you're into making drones, and we're going to talk about the drones that you're making, but also with kids, because this is something, your first year here at Georgia Tech, you just wanted to get involved with the local community, so you went out and did what?
I gave drone workshops to middle school kids. I was bored in my freshman year, so I decided to create a workshop for drones so they could build drones and learn how to do it.
How did you decide, like, I want to build drones, that's something that I want to do, because that's what you're doing now?
Freshman year, I was doing undergraduate research at ASDL, and that was so fun, I just wanted to share.
And back in Turkey, you're kind of a big deal, because you gave a TED Talk. What was the TED Talk about?
It was about maker culture, like kids learning themselves, teaching others, and other stuff. Yeah.
Overall, your experience here at Georgia Tech, if you go back home to Turkey, what do you tell people about your time in the States and then specifically going to school here and the education you received?
What I would tell them is, like, Georgia Tech gave me the power to do whatever I want technically, or if I didn't have the abilities, it taught me how to learn it.
All right, Con, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations, and good luck in your future endeavors, building drones and helping out kids build drones. So Con is a CS major, that's computer science. We have a robust computer science program here at Georgia Tech, and a big branch off of that is a student organization known as HackGT, which throws 1,000-person hackathons, but they wanted to get a little more involved in the Atlanta community 3 years ago. Here's the story of Catalyst.
Talent is everywhere, but opportunity isn't. For Catalyst, it's all about kind of taking these students that, are from particular areas of Metro Atlanta, right? And actually not even just Metro Atlanta, actually multiple different areas around Georgia that may not actually have access to proper computing science education, bring them in for a free day of STEAM first off, lowering that barrier of entry, but also at the same time, we want to kind of catalyze, right? We want to kind of speed it, we want to expand the horizon in terms of opportunities.
The idea from Catalyst came from just sort of a fleeting thought that I had one day while we were ideating about what to do with HackGT in the upcoming year. The whole point of Catalyst is to show these students, hey, this is a viable career path. This is something that you can do, and after you leave high school, you can just go straight ahead and do it.
That's what we actually offer a myriad of different tracks. We have a hardware track, a design track, a software track, and a gaming track as well. And this year, for example, for me, I was really pushing to have amazing panelists, actually. People that are kind of tech leaders within the Atlanta scene that can kind of attest, say, hey, I was in your shoes when I was a little kid. And now I'm leading this company, I'm doing this major big thing, I'm making this large impact. Right now, there's actually 30 students at Georgia Tech today who attended Catalyst over the past 2 years, right? And so it's kind of crazy when we're kind of talking and engaging with students like, wow, I was at Catalyst. Because of you, I went into computer science and I found my passion at a younger age.
For them to do something as amazing as getting the whole Facebook recruitment team to come out really showed me that they're creating the next here. If you want to do something, you can do it.
HackGT's team is so diverse and accepting of different viewpoints, of different backgrounds, and we let these backgrounds and viewpoints shine.
Meeting them I think it played a big part of me being able to get in. I knew what types of things I should be trying to do to make myself appealing to the school. I knew what types of things I could expect in coming here. Catalyst, the event, is really like an embodiment of the things that make me want to come to Tech. There's a lot of people that I met at the event that were talking about how that was their first time being able to do anything like that. And if you really connect and keep up with some of them, you realize that that was like a jump start. That was a beginning point. It was literally the catalyst for some people's desires for some of these things.
We're on a tight schedule. Okay, so we are back here in Zelnak, and as you can see, we've got our commencement speaker who is back here ready to say hello to our students. We'll speak with him momentarily. Right now, let's talk to McKenna Laffey back here. She was a member of the Georgia Tech Swim Club, and you guys just celebrated a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just recently won the 2019 College Club Swimming National Championships. This was the second win for us. We are now two-time defending national champions.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. We are actually getting a ceremonial banner raised in the Georgia Tech Campus Recreation Center sometime this summer. So be on the lookout for that if you come back and visit. And we actually just signed a sponsorship with Arena, which is one of the biggest swim providers in the entire United States.
What's the feeling? I know it's club swimming, but it's still pretty big to win a national title like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This year we had over 1,800 swimmers at the competition. There were swimmers like me who, swam in high school, just wanted to keep going. There were people who'd never even swam before, and we had all the way up to people who are retired Olympians at the competition.
And let's show this mortarboard real quick. Clever girl. It has double meaning, of course.
Yeah, it's a quote from Jurassic Park, one of my favorite movies. So we've got the Velociraptor, and I like to think of myself as a clever girl sometimes.
And McKenna will be earning her degree in biomedical engineering today. She's got to go get in line with the rest of her classmates. Congratulations, McKenna.
Thank you very much. One more thing: fight, swim, drink, get naked.
We don't condone that. We'll just say that. All right, so I am here with Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan.
And my wife, Brooke.
So glad to have you guys here today. Can you give us a little taste of your advice for graduates a little bit later?
Wow, yeah, we're excited about the opportunity to be here today. We're going to talk a little bit today about some life lessons I've learned along the way, and just excited to be back here today. Georgia Tech has meant so much to us in our journey. Both Brooke and I both went to Georgia Tech, and just an honor to be back here today.
So what was your favorite moment from your time at Georgia Tech?
Just watching Jeff play baseball, getting a great education, having people teach me that were just utterly amazing, and just a great place to grow up.
And you spent your time here as a student athlete. What's it like coming back?
So I'll give a sneak peek. One paragraph in my speech today is going to talk about, I don't think there was a single person on this campus that thought I would be back here with a microphone in my hand today. But I've grown up a lot, and just a great honor.
What a standout moment from your baseball career at Georgia Tech? Anything that you recall?
Yeah, so as a freshman, I got to play in the 1994 College World Series. I was 19 years old, and to be on that stage with a tremendous team, Jason Varitek, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Jay Payton, Brad Rigby, just an amazing opportunity as a 19-year-old to experience.
All right, so we're looking forward to hearing your comments a little bit later. Sporting the gold tie, of course, white and gold. There we go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right. So we're going to keep introducing you to graduates. Looking forward to hearing from our Lieutenant Governor a little bit later. Right now we've got Juliana Stovall here with us. Juliana, you studied civil engineering here at Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
And you took part in something else. We're going to see some pictures of this. A lot of folks probably would be surprised to find out we have a roller derby at Georgia Tech.
Good morning, Yellow
Yes,
Jackets.
we do. It's my team. I've been a founder in the making of Yellow Jacket Roller Derby. It's been very exciting to be a part of the team here at Tech.
So the president, the lieutenant governor, you're going to hear them behind us right now as they're having some final words of wisdom for the graduates. So you may hear that behind us. What are you looking forward to after graduation, Juliana?
Well, I'm actually going to do the BSMS program. So I'm graduating right now, and then I'm graduating again in a year with my master's in civil engineering.
All right, so Juliana, she's got to go get in line for graduation as well. Congratulations. All right, we're going to check back in with Evan, who's down in McCamish. Evan, what do you got for us?
All right, so I'm down here, and as you can see, we have a huge replica of the actual ring that graduates would get if purchased. And I just wanted to show you guys just a little bit of detail on this ring. So on the front side here, we have Tech Tower, which is actually the oldest building on campus and probably the most recognizable as well. Now, above that, we have 1885 inscribed, which is the year that Georgia Tech was founded. All right, Chris, let's turn it around here. On the back side here at the top, we have BS. And what's interesting about that is actually all graduates from Georgia Tech earn a bachelor's in science. Below that, we have Buzz and the Rambling Wreck, two of Georgia Tech's most popular icons. Now let's look at the top. All right, on the top of this ring, we have the Georgia Tech seal. Now, President Peterson will actually wear a medallion around his neck today, which has this exact seal. And it also has Georgia Tech's motto on there, which is progress and service. Now, a new tradition with these rings is that each ring purchased by the graduates actually goes on a special ride around campus in the Rambling Wreck. So let's learn a little bit more about it here in this video.
Back here in Zelnak, I'm with Carson Fletcher, who's a part of the Georgia Tech football team. We're going to talk to him in just a moment, but he did earn a class ring, did buy a class ring. It has been in the Ramblin' Wreck, but you have not. We got to rectify that.
Yeah, we do. So whoever's out there, whoever wants to give me a ride in the wreck, let's get it done.
We know a couple of the wreck drivers.
Yeah.
We'll try and make that happen. So Carson, you have a kind of an unorthodox story about how you joined the Georgia Tech football program and then what happened after you had been a part of the program. So why don't you walk us through our story of walking into that scenario?
Yeah, so I transferred here after my freshman year. I decided to, try football. They had a tryout. I made the team, walked on the team. About 2 weeks into fall practice, I tore my ACL, unfortunately. If you're not familiar with that, it's about a year-long recovery. So worked really hard through rehab, earned a spot for fall camp. It's a limited roster for fall camp, so I earned a spot. And then unfortunately tore my ACL again right at the end of fall camp. Unfortunately, just kind of how it worked out, and didn't really get much playing time, but very fortunate to have the opportunity.
And we were talking just before we went on air about just the family atmosphere, and Paul Johnson is now gone and Jeff Collins has come in, but that family atmosphere that the Yellow Jacket football team has.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone just sees sees what happens on game day, but we're with the team every single day of the week. We're with the coaches, 5-6 days a week. So we really, come together as a family. We yell at each other, but we're pretty much like brothers.
So on your student side, instead of the athlete side, what are you getting your degree in? I see once again the honors cords. It looks like you've done pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm majoring in aerospace engineering. Fortunately, getting out today. It's been a long road with that, and managing aerospace and football. So definitely excited to be graduating.
All right, speaking of aerospace, I'm going to work in a pun here. What's on the horizon?
Still
working on that?
Well, okay, I get you now. So I'm going to be doing a master's in quantitative and computational finance here at Georgia Tech. Obviously, kind of a big change in the road. After working in the aerospace industry, maybe decided to try and try finance for a little bit. Really excited to start that. I'm coming back here in the fall to start that master's program.
All right, you'll walk out today and walk right back in next fall.
Yep, pretty much, yeah. So I guess I didn't want to leave. I don't know.
All right, Carson, well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so
we
much.
look forward to seeing you more on campus.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Our next story is also an aerospace engineer. She's a rocket scientist and was a Georgia Tech cheerleader. Let's take a look at Caroline Jones.
I've grown up loving Georgia Tech. Both of my parents went here. My dad was a management major, graduated in 1990. My mom was a civil engineering major, graduated in 92. My older sister graduated from Tech and was a business major who graduated in 2015. And my younger brother is a current student. He will graduate in 2021. There's tons of pictures of me in Georgia Tech cheerleading uniforms. I used to love wearing it. I wanted to become a Georgia Tech cheerleader. And so that was an absolute dream come true, to be able to be on Grant Field, in Bobby Dodd, in McCamish, and experiencing Tech that way was one of the best experiences of my life. So I've always loved math and science, and always knew I would be an engineering major just like my mom. I really had a passion for space. I think space is the future. I love, love, love everything about it. I did some NASA-sponsored research here, and I got to do that for 3 semesters. It was some deep communications research, specifically for Mars missions. I am a rocket scientist. It's crazy to say. I can't believe I can say that. That's one of the things that I love the most about Georgia Tech, is that you can do it all. Georgia Tech really does enable you with the ability to chase your dreams in space, and also fulfill a lifelong dream of being a Georgia Tech cheerleader. I really do hope that I have in some way inspired someone somewhere, enabled them to know that they can be an engineer and they can do whatever they want to.
All right, I am honored to be in the presence of Caroline, rocket scientist / cheerleader.
We made it.
You made it. All right. Now, something really cool. We're going to show off the hand here, because what are you wearing?
So I'm wearing my mom and my dad's rings, class of 90 and class of 92. We got a business major and a civil engineering major, and I am so proud to be wearing their rings today.
So I gotta ask, who do you think is going to cheer the loudest when you cross the stage? Is it mom or dad?
I'm gonna say absolutely dad, because he was an AE but then switched to business. Pops, you're awesome. But he's gonna be so proud and cheer absolutely the loudest.
What, you got to experience a lot of incredible moments at Georgia Tech. Does one stand out for you either in the classroom or on the field at McCamish?
Absolutely, I would have to say, so I was a cheerleader and I got to cheer the Miracle on Techwood, and that was absolutely incredible. I mean, it broke the seismology records and it was absolutely insane to cheer at the Miracle on Techwood.
So this rocket scientist has big plans in her future. Tell us where you're headed.
So I'm headed up to Microsoft in their DC office location, and I'm totally thrilled.
So I'm not going to ask her to back handspring her way back into line, but she could do it. I want you to be aware of that. All right, congratulations, Caroline.
Thanks so much. Thanks, y'all.
All right, so next up, we've got Angel. We got a picture happening right here as well. Angel, computer science major. Tell me a little bit about your time here. You actually got a pretty big award recently. I'm sure it was a surprise to you.
Yes, it was. It was a Love Family Foundation Award. I was co-awarded with another Meredith. She's a business major. Also, she did very well.
Graduating this afternoon.
She is as well, with the business group. So yeah, it was very unexpected. I got an email. They're like, send us a page describing what you've done, and I mailed it in, and then I got an email back saying congrats.
This guy's humble. It was actually an award for being our top undergraduate student. Tell me what you studied while you were here. Computer science. What did you focus on?
So I did computer science. My threads, computer science has a thread system. I did modeling and simulation in intelligence, sort of like artificial intelligence. I really enjoyed it. CS lets you choose sort of what direction you want to take it in. So I was able to really like narrow down on the areas that interested me a lot.
So, putting you on the spot a little bit, your dad is a Georgia Tech alumni as well. Is he here today?
So actually both my parents met here doing their PhD, both in psychology in the mid-90s. So they're both here today. Hopefully clapping for me at some point.
And no pressure, I'm sure, but your dad was probably pretty hard on you because he's got, what he's doing now focuses on higher education as well.
He is. He works at a university up in Northern Virginia, so I think, honestly, my mom cried when I decided to come to Tech and not stay in Virginia close by, but I think they're really excited for me now.
What's next for you?
So I'll actually be starting my PhD at Carnegie Mellon, focusing computer science, but human-computer interaction specifically.
All right.
So.
Alex, correct? That's what.
Yeah, I use Alex. My dad is also Angel and my granddad, so to differentiate, I go by Alex.
Angel, Alex, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you cross that stage a little bit later.
Awesome.
All right. So, next student we're going to meet during his time here, working on his aerospace engineering degree. He took to the skies and took part in one of his favorite pastimes of flying. Let's meet Lauren Isaacson.
First time I got to fly or get behind the controls of an aircraft, I was 13 years old, and it was in a glider. Took us up, we went flying. First time experienced it. It was very different from commercial aviation, and there was sort of a finesse to it that really appealed to me. From a young age, I was exposed to aviation and aerospace, and it had been around in my life all the way through infancy. And at that point, I wanted to understand the mechanics behind flight and how to even go about making and designing aircraft. Both my mom and my dad were Air Force, and my dad was a pilot, right? We actually had, from like young age, we had flight suits. We had all these, flight suits and gear. I'd frequently go into the base, get to see the simulators, get to see the aircraft, sometimes go out on the flight line. I'd always memorize, all the different kinds of aircraft when I'd see them flying overhead. And the thing is, like, my parents didn't force me in this direction either. Like, it was sort of like, you go figure this out. And I came here to Georgia Tech really to try a lot of things. I didn't even know there was a Yellow Jacket Flying Club. I wanted to go to the best aerospace school and study and learn flight, but I didn't even know they had a flying club here until I got here. And fortunately, ran into that program and immediately set my eyes on getting a private pilot's license. A lot of my enjoyment is just taking other people flying. So after a while, you enjoy flying. It's fun, but it brings me joy to just see it in another person's face. A buddy of mine, another student, we'll just literally talk to each other like, hey man, you want to go fly over downtown tonight? And we're like, sure, let's do it. You get a bird's eye view of what's going around in the area, right? And you'll see that evolve over time as you continue to fly in that area. You get the bug, they call it. You gotta scratch that itch. If I spend too much time on the ground, I start getting that itch again, and I have to keep going and at least get up and fly. It's sort of an addiction that you can't really quell throughout the life. It's always gonna be there. I hope to sort of pass us on. It's been in the family, it's been in friends, you know, it's sort of an inherent part of my life for the rest of my life.
It's not easy to catch Lauren Isaacson on the ground, but we have successfully done it as you are getting ready to walk across the stage. I was just joking with you. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have flown?
Yeah, I wish I could. This would be a lot of fun, for sure.
It would have been difficult to get the aircraft inside McCamish Pavilion.
Oh, well, we could try. It's worth a shot.
So we talked a lot when we did that interview. We cut it down from whatever, it was a 20-minute conversation. And one of the things that you mentioned in that conversation was how you've been able to take the knowledge that you've learned in AE classrooms and actually apply it while flying. Tell me about some of that.
Yeah, so when you start flying, you know, the first day they plop this big manual in front of you, and it's all about, you know, performance characteristics of the aircraft and you know, the background in aerospace engineering, right? I'd already taken classes in aerodynamics, fluid mechanics, structures, avionics, right? And you know where a lot of those numbers come from, right? Already from the start. And that gives you some intuition later on in life. You know, when you want to go fly aircraft, you know the details. You know what's going on behind the scenes.
So, full disclaimer, I've actually been in an airplane with this guy. We took last fall at the commencement, we took a young lady who commencement wish was to go up and learn how to fly. And that's something that you do pretty regularly with the flying club. It's just, anybody can do it. You don't have to have any experience. We literally let someone who has never flown before fly me around, and I'm not as comfortable with that as I seemed that day.
Well, I have a lot of fun with it. It really does bring me joy to take people flying and joy and show them how it's like. You get a view of campus, right? That's always breathtaking for them the first time. You're seeing it from a different view that you've never seen before. And it really is breathtaking. There's not much I can do to describe it. It really, I have to show you, you know? It's not something I can put in words.
It is true. It is true. I mean, that's an instance where imagery, whether it's with your own eyes, video, is more powerful than being able to describe it. Now, Lauren, one more question I got to ask you. What are you going to miss the most about your time here at Georgia Tech?
Oh my, I'm going to miss the camaraderie probably. You make a lot of friends when you're in the library working at 1 a.m. You know, to come up and get ready for that next final. You'll make a lot of friends, you'll work really hard together, and I really am going to miss the camaraderie here. I think that's just the biggest takeaway.
All right, Lauren, you want to say hi to anybody? I know you've got family.
Oh yeah, I've got 4 siblings and my parents out there, John and Melissa, so hey guys, what's up? See you soon.
All right, we look forward to seeing where you fly next. Congratulations.
Yep.
That's Lauren Isaacson. He's an aerospace engineer. He's a pilot. Now we're going to turn over and talk to Kyle Hansen, who is a commissioned Marine. Now, we kind of pulled you out of the line. You can see the stole here with the United States Marine Corps, but tell us a little bit about your story here at Georgia Tech.
So I came here 4 years ago, walked in day one, went over to the NROTC office and said, hey, I want to do this. The captain said, never actually had someone like come in from an email before. So I started doing that. I came in here knowing I wanted to do biomedical engineering first off though. So it's been interesting. You know, Marines aren't always necessarily known for the brains, more for the brawn. So it's been interesting trying to balance the two out for the past 4 years. You get to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning a few times a week.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the student workload here at Georgia Tech for the regular students, for student athletes, but I can't imagine being a commissioned Marine and going to school. I mean, that's got to be some serious dedication.
So we just actually commissioned yesterday.
Oh.
So yeah, but you build up to that point. Yes, yeah. But for us, for the Marine Corps at least, you know, they make sure you earn it first. So it's been the past 4 years essentially rushing the Marine Corps, if you will.
All right, biomedical engineering. What are you going to do with that degree?
So afterwards, I'm going to flight school. After go to TBS. That's the plan for right now, at least. So that's about 11 years out. But afterwards, I'd really love to get into something with prosthetics or joint replacement type of things. Done some projects on like knee replacements, worked with some prosthetics and stuff like that before. So anything in that realm would be really cool to work with.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your service, sir. All right, that's Kyle Hansen, and he's biomedical. We also are going to talk to another College of the Sciences student, a pre-med who was 17 years old when she came on campus. And where did I find her? Hanging from the trees. Let's meet Harper Doherty.
Being up in the air, sometimes upward of 25 feet, is terrifying. But as soon as you get used to it, and as soon as you feel comfortable and confident in it, it's freeing, and you feel like you don't have to worry about any of your problems that you have on the ground. You don't have to worry about the stressors, and it's just you and the silks. The aerial silks are an apparatus usually performed by people in the circus. Sometimes you may see them in Cirque du Soleil. They're fabric that spans from the ceiling to the ground, and performers climb them, wrap on them, and drop from them. My name is Harper Doherty. I am 17 and I'm a first year on campus here at Georgia Tech, but I'm a junior. I'm a major adrenaline junkie. So I started out in gymnastics, and that was great until I ran out of time. When I got to the silks, I was like, this is the best combination of adrenaline and skill and artistry ever. This is what I want to continue to do. I started at this tiny little circus school in a warehouse district in the back of Alpharetta, and no one knew what it was. Our class was 2 people, and I stayed there, and as they were forming their company, I ended up being one of the senior company members. I am a biology major here at Georgia Tech. I am pre-med, so I want to be able to go to an osteopathic medical school. Cirque du Soleil in particular has programs where they have sports medicine and orthopedic medicine doctors that travel with their shows. So to be able to be surrounded by circus and be able to train while also being able to pursue that passion as well would be ideal and a dream.
All right, and here is Harper as she's getting ready to graduate at age 18. Can you actually believe it? 18 years old now. When we talked to you that day, after we were all done filming, it was a long day. I was talking to you and you said, yeah, I'll be done in spring of 2019. And then you told me that you wanted to go into med school. And I said, oh, like Doogie Howser. Do you remember what you said?
I do not, but that's a very frequent name.
You told me that you didn't know who that was.
Oh, yeah. It's become a more frequent thing at this point. Definitely been called Doogie Howser many times.
So you're a little bit younger than most of your constituents here at Georgia Tech, but you've decided that you are going to go to med school. But tell us about that journey, what you're going to do first before you head out.
Yeah, so I'm planning on taking a gap year. I will be working with one of the ministries on East Campus next year, so I'll be back. I'll be living right on campus just again. But I started med school applications on Thursday, so hopefully I'll be in med school by fall of 2020.
And we can still see you hanging from the trees here on campus.
Ideally, yes.
All right, Harper, congratulations. I know your line's on the way, so go ahead and get back in line, and good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, that's Harper Doherty. Next, we're going to check in with Hallie Bryan. This is a girl you just see everywhere on campus. Let's take a look at Hallie.
I saw when I applied for graduation that you could submit a story, and I thought I don't really have a super unique story to tell, but then I started thinking about my experience, and I really think when I came to Georgia Tech, I just had the mindset of I want to make the most of my time here. Some of my involvements over the past 4 years, the most consistent ones have been Ramblin' Rec Club and Alpha Gamma Delta, my sorority. I've also been in students consulting for nonprofits, a little bit in SGA. I was in a freshman leadership organization called Emerging Leaders. I was in Dance Tech, the performing company, because I love to dance. I just really tried to do a lot of different things throughout my 4 years so that I was as well-rounded as I could be when I graduated. I think Rec Club has been one of the best avenues for me to be able to give back to Georgia Tech through the traditions. Specifically, I was able to chair our Mini 500 race for 2 years. One of the biggest changes that we made was we got a chip timing system. So now if you watch, all the tricycles have like numbers and there's an official race as if you're running a marathon or something. One of the things Georgia Tech has taught me is never to accept that we do something the way we do it just because that's the way it's always been done. I think Rec Club has just been a cool way for me to be able to impact the student body through small things, just like bringing the rec to students more, or through big events like that. I've gotten to kind of see how each individual at Georgia Tech can still make an impact even though they're just one person. I think that you as an individual can adapt to your surroundings and be happy anywhere, but I truly think that Georgia Tech was where I was supposed to be. I think it brought out the best parts about me while at the same time challenging the parts of me that needed to grow, and really just helped me become the person that I am today in ways that I never could have expected. And I'm so grateful. It's just been more than I ever could have imagined.
Hallie, we see you everywhere on campus, at all the football games, at all the major events, all the homecoming events, and we get to see you having fun. But I want to know, what is your most favorite memory being a member of the Ramblin' Rec Club and then here at Georgia Tech?
Sure, it's hard to pick. One of the favorites for sure is getting to be on the field for football games. You get to see all of the game day craziness behind the scenes and just be a part of all the excitement, and it's something I for sure will never forget.
One thing that we know about the Rec Club is it's like a family, but when you guys leave, you come back. We're going to see you again, right?
Of course. I look forward to coming back for homecoming and seeing how campus is continuing to grow and sticking around a little bit occasionally.
All right, so we know that you've already got something lined up. You're going to be a consultant. Tell us about that job and how you're going to apply your ISYE degree.
Sure, yes. I'm moving to Charlotte, North Carolina to work for a consulting company. I'm so excited to get to continue to learn how to apply my skills I've learned, and just continue to grow myself and learn new things every day.
Well, congratulations. Good luck today.
Thanks.
We look forward. We're expecting a big cheer for Hallie when she crosses the stage. All the Rec Club usually makes it pretty loud for y'all.
Thanks so much.
All right, so that's Hallie. We're done here in Zelnach. We're going to now send it to McCamish in just a moment, but first we want to clue you in on one of the great programs here at Georgia Tech, something that allows students that may not necessarily get the college experience in other places around the world to have it here at Georgia Tech. This is the Excel program.
To move the tassel, it's going to go like that.
Okay.
So,
Got it. I'm so proud of you.
As society changes, I expect that celebrations like this graduation from college will become just a routine ritual. Georgia Tech is a very prestigious research university, so why would a leading technological university open its doors to college-age students with cognitive and developmental disabilities by incorporating Excel? The short answer is because Georgia Tech's motto is progress and service.
For many years, Georgia Tech has been recognized for its brains. Because of all of you, and especially because of Terry and Cyrus, it is now recognized for its heart.
Thank you to Georgia Tech students, the Excel students, classmates, and friends. You actually changed the course of history.
You are each architects of your own future and deserve all the good that awaits you in your life. As director of Excel, I present these candidates: Kurt, Frankie, Faith, Natalie, Rashad, Alex, Carrie, Rose, who have duly completed all the requirements for Excel, completion which is signified by a certificate of social growth, leadership, and career development.
All right, let's have a big round of applause for our Excel graduates. We'll be celebrating with them this afternoon. All right, so if we're here on the floor, that means we're getting pretty close to the big moment. So you can be excited about that. Evan, a lot of exciting things about to happen. What's your favorite moment at graduation?
There's a lot of great things about commencement, but I think there's one moment that you can't really beat. And I think that's the moment that the white and gold balloons drop at the top and you get to see all the graduates' faces. And I don't think that's something you can really beat, and I haven't seen that at too many places.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments here at Georgia Tech. Another great thing about graduation here at Georgia Tech is we still announce every graduate's name. And we do it in a really high-tech way. Every graduate has a little card, and what they've done ahead of the ceremony, they've called into a hotline and they've correctly pronounced their name. What happens when they come up over here, the barcode is scanned at this desk over here, and a computer generation that was pre-recorded by a linguist correctly pronounces their name. So that's what you'll hear as each student lines up down this line. They'll turn in their card over here. And if you're wanting to take pictures, this is the order of what will happen. They'll turn in their card here. They'll start to cross the stage this way. They'll shake hands with the head of their program somewhere around here. And as they get to this part of the stage, it's where they'll shake hands with President Bud Peterson. And pretty cool. Every student gets to shake hands with the president at graduation here at Georgia Tech. And then they'll stop over here for their first photo op with their diploma. And then what happens from there, Bryce?
Well, after that, they go back to their seat. And you may be wondering, where is my child going to sit in this sea of metal chairs? How can I pick out my kid? Well, I've got some bad news. I can't exactly tell you because we don't know exactly where they're going to sit, but I can give you the general region of where they'll be. So this is how it lines up here at Georgia Tech. At the very front, we start off with the College of Computing. It's a very large college nowadays, and that's going to roll all the way back, I don't know the exact row, maybe till here. And then, right after College of Computing, we have a couple of rows of the College of Design. And then from there, the College of the Sciences, maybe till about right here. And then this, and all of this is engineering. It's Georgia Tech, folks. So we won't be able to tell you exactly where your student is going to be, but look out for them. Try to find their body language and figure out exactly where your student can be, and pay attention to the names because they are generally in alphabetic order. And if you cannot find your student and you see them up there in that overflow section, they were late to graduation. All right, it is now time to celebrate the brave and honor the bold. It's time to let our yellow jackets fly, those that have donned the white and gold. Let's have a hell of a commencement, everybody.